Let's start in South Africa. The authorities over there are looking into ways of providing some relief to cash-strapped consumers who are struggling with a raft of rising living costs. The Treasury, in fact, has gone as far as setting up a committee to assess the widening of the basket of items that will be exempt from taxes. In April, value-added tax rose for the first time in 25 years. That move was prompted by a massive revenue hole of about $4 billion. The increase has helped to fill state coffers, but it's left consumers with a fairly large hole in their pockets. CGTN's Sumitra Nydoo filed this report.
South Africa has a basket of 19 zero-rated items consisting mostly of basic foods. The aim is to protect the poor. However, considering that there's a string of other items needed on a regular basis, this exemption is just not enough. The Finance Ministry has now appointed an independent panel to investigate the possibility of making more goods tax exempt.
We got to the basket by trying to identify which were the items that the poor spend disproportionately large amount of their income on. So the poor spend lots on bread, they spend lots on things such as school uniforms, etc. You then have to think about whether it's feasible to zero rate those goods. You have to then see what's the benefit going to be.
Increasing the list of VAT exempt items will cost the government around $285 million. An extra it can't really afford, especially now that the economy is in a recession.
On the one hand, you need to continue to consolidate because the debt to GDP ratio continues to increase. On the other hand, the burden on the poor, simply because the economy is not growing, is not creating enough employment, continues to rise. So what needs to be done? I think at this point in time, they just have to do the hard things and implement the reforms that are going to lift economic growth and relieve the fiscals.
There's ongoing debate on who will really benefit should the VAT exempt items list increase.
Even those that can afford to live even with a full VAT increase, they still buy the same products which are bought by the poor. That benefit does not go all of it to the poor alone.
The panel has also highlighted the danger of the zero rating not being passed through to consumers by retailers.
Across the board, before the zero rating actually happens, we need some more kind of research to be done to make sure that the benefits of the zero rating will go down to the final consumer and that business interests are not going to benefit from the zero rating.
The review panel has gone through thousands of submissions from the public while it decides on which items will be exempt from the 15% VAT rate. It has suggested to government to increase its budget on social programs targeted at the poor. That too, though, will add pressure on the fiscus as social grants already account for a large part of the national budget. Sumitra, Nydoo, CGTN, Johannesburg, South Africa.